doing? What are you doing? Hello? Hi, puppy.
Okay, we got a problem. You all recall that not too long ago I got a whole gaggle of stuff from Temu. So the one item that I was banking on being really good was my Chulux coffee maker, because that brand is sold Walmart.com, Amazon, but what it is, I've come to find that I believe it's the cheapest K-cup type of coffee maker. I just looked because I was trying to do some troubleshooting. That might be a clue as to where we're going with this. I was just looking online, and I'm pretty sure I saw it for $29.99 on Walmart.com. So it's very inexpensive. When I first used this back at the folks' house, I think the first time I turned it on and ran it, it heated up and everything, and then it shut off. It never put the water out into the coffee cup. And I'm like, maybe because it was the first try. So I did it again, and then it worked. And I made, I think 2 or 3 days I used it back at the folks' house before I packed it away in the truck. And now, you know, we're out here. Once we got here to Colorado, I started using it. I didn't use it on the drive. And yes, I need a shave. I'm starting to itch. I didn't use it on the drive. I was truck stop coffee every morning, which is my favorite. So I started using it out here, and I immediately ran into trouble. Something seems wrong. Why isn't it pumping? Oh, something's wrong. Steamed a lot. I don't remember it doing that before. I think maybe I didn't have that pod in correctly or something. If we only get half a cup, then I'll know I did something wrong. I made the coffee. I made two of them. The first one, I think I didn't get the pop in good, so it only brewed out like that much. Then the second one brewed out the whole cup. So I dumped them together in my big mug here, and I've got a full cup of brew, and it tastes great. You know, the McCafe, you can't go wrong with the McCafe. I put the water in, put the plastic cup of coffee in there, turn it on, it heats up and everything, and then it just stops. Well, what I figured out is the switch, when you close the lid, you can hear a little, you know, a little switch inside of there. And as soon as I let off the pressure, I hear that switch again. It's deactivating. When I put the plastic cup in, if I don't hold my finger down on this to keep pressure on it, it just heats the water up and then shuts off. It never engages the pump. So I discovered this pretty immediate. The first morning I was trying to make coffee and it failed. If any of you have a small coffee maker like this that works really well, let me know which brand it is and I'll take a look at it. You know, this one is, it's the depth and the width that's important. The height, I've got more space above it. It could be about this tall, but it's this depth. I'd like to keep it as small as possible. So if you have one that's tiny, let me know, because I got a feeling that our future is going to have a different coffee maker in it. I wish I had better news, but it looks like the Chulux has totally died now. I made coffee with it yesterday morning with some struggle, but I ended up with a big mug of coffee. And now this morning, I take it out, I plug it in. It did some blinking things, which it's not really supposed to do. And it's dead. It's got water in it. It's got a McCafe pod. And nothing. I cannot get it to do anything. Now watch. If I unplug it, and I'll let you watch what it does. And listen. I plug it in. It does that. That's the pump. And then it just shuts off and it's dead again. So I have, first thing it's supposed to do is heat up water. It's not supposed to do any pumping or anything. And it does that every time. And it's kind of, see, it's pushing water through the pod, but it's not been heated. I've been sitting here scratching my head on, okay, how can I make a cup of coffee? And I'm coming up with nothing. I don't have any coffee filters, to like pour boiling water through into a cup. Can you do it with a paper towel? I don't know. And I just like looked through all my utensils and stuff. I don't have any kind of screen, like screen cup that you can. I got nothing. And man, I need a cup of coffee. We got woken up at about 4:30 with a thunderstorm, and it rained for about an hour. So we laid here and woke up listening to the rain, and I've been fiddling with this thing for 20 minutes. It's 8 o'clock now, and I want a cup of coffee, and I have no way to make one. And now I'm like, okay, should I jump on the... If it hadn't rained and if it wasn't sloppy out, I would be on the bike right now riding into town to get a cup of coffee. I kid you not. But I don't really feel like riding in the muck because it's pretty wet out there. It rained a pretty good amount. Frustration level, kind of up there. Mad at myself that I didn't keep the percolator, that I didn't have any kind of backup. But, how many backups can you carry when you have limited space? You can't have a backup for every single thing. You just don't have the room. And that's where I'm at. That's why I got rid of the percolator system, because I just didn't have the room for it. And now that's kind of biting me in the butt. I cut a hole in some paper towels and I'm going to support this over a coffee cup and pour some boiling water through here. So I turn on the propane tank and I go to light the stove and I got nothing. There's no gas at all coming out of the stove. Now that propane tank, that was a brand new tank. When I was in New York, I swapped in my old tank because remember I had something I thought maybe was wrong with the valve of that tank I had, or something was wrong with the stove. But the tank would use like 1/5 of its fill and then the burner wouldn't work anymore. Like the pressure was just gone. It would only make a tiny little flame. So either the tank valve was bad or the regulator on the stove was bad. So I know in this tank I've only cooked, we haven't cooked hardly any. What have we been out, a couple weeks? So that tank is, almost full. I got nothing. I turned the valve to open it and it came over here and I hit the, what do you call it, the controller, and usually I hear click, and then the igniter lights it. So I turn it and I don't hear anything, and it lights it, but it just does a quick little flash of fire, just a little low pressure ring of fire, and then quits. And I have been fiddling with this for 15 minutes trying to figure out what the heck's going on. I just cooked here yesterday. I cooked ground beef and potatoes in the frying pan. No problems, finished, turned everything off, and now here I turn it on this morning and nothing. I'm, what is going on? So no coffee maker, and now my stove is failed. I got a feeling that it's that dang regulator on that Camp Chef oven. You know, I already had to replace the regulator once on that thing. The first one, you remember, it almost caught us on fire. So that's a replacement from Camp Chef. You have to buy their specific regulator to fit their little fancy hookup back there. So I got a bad feeling that that regulator has now died, and that's what caused my previous propane tank, even though it was full, to act like it was empty. I'm lost. So I'm sitting here with this cup full of coffee grounds. I filled the saucepan with water that I was going to boil on there, and I'm down to, I've only got 5 bottles of water left, drinking water. You know, I can ride the bike into town and get water in my backpack. I'm not super concerned about that. Yesterday, I actually went into town with my neighbor that I met. He's got a Honda Trail, maybe a 125, I'm not sure. He's got a basket on the back. So I took my little carry jug that holds like 4.5 gallons and filled that, and he put it in his basket for the ride back here, which was really nice of him. So I got more water for our sink, and it was drinking water, you know. I put it in our tank for the sink, just so I've got water for Lefty and for cleaning up and all that. So I can go and get drinking water. I'm not super concerned. So maybe what I can do, go to the Camp Chef website and order another regulator for this stove. I think it was like $35 if I remember. So I'm just going to order that and have it shipped to Leadville, which is the town we're going to after we leave here. I'll have it shipped to that shipping service up there, B&B Shipping. I've used them in the past. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, because I got a feeling that that's what's going on, that regulator is funked up. Okay, hold on, buddy. I'll change my clothes and we'll go for a walk, okay? Of course, last night is the first night I didn't put the bike cover on, because every night it's been saying rain, and it hasn't rained ever. And I didn't put it on last night, and it rained. So the bike got a little bath. Not a big deal. Okay, let me change my clothes, buddy. Oh, this is a nice view over here. Wow. We're on the other side of the big rock. There's some campers down there. I wonder if that's another National Forest campsite. I'm not super familiar with this specific area. You know, we've camped in this area before, general area. Oh, there's a railroad tracks down there. Look at this guy, just loves getting the big views. Like Chevy Chase and Vacation, right? Go to the edge, looks out, looks good, turns around, takes off. Does his Chevy Chase impression. This is really nice here. Dude, I really don't feel like going down that. Oh, there's a river. Holy smokes, you see that? Can hear it. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I thought it was wind in the trees, but can hear that river. Wow. I see some snow up on that mountaintop over there. We've been north of here and south of here, but never right in this area. See, that's climbable, right? If you were a rock climber person, looks like there's a lot of handholds and stuff. Come here. right? A lot of cracks. Wow, some of these are teetering. That one right there is just teetering on the edge, it looks like. What you doing? What? You just did a Yui? Trying to keep up with him and keep my breath about me. Oh, so it's starting to rain again. So Lefty, yesterday we were out hiking and up and down and around the rocks like we've been doing, and he injured something. Now he's been showing some kind of injury that he has. It periodically comes up and he'll limp for a few days, and I take it easy on him, and then he's back to normal. But this time, this is the worst I've ever seen it, and I just took him out just for a morning walk. Yesterday he started limping, so I only took him for a really short evening walk just so he could do his work. And then this morning, that's my plan, just a nice quiet walk around the campground. And he started limping, and I can't tell what it is. If it's a front leg, if it's a back leg, it's so hard to tell, depending on when he limps. But I stopped, we only had gone just up around just a little ways. I stopped and I cut through two people's campgrounds, which I hate doing. Thankfully, I know both of them. They're both viewers, to come straight back over to our rig. And the hiking we did yesterday was not extreme. It's stuff we've done a million times. I always said to myself, when that comes to an end, when he's no longer able to do his stuff that he loves doing, that's going to be really tough, because that's, always been such a big part of our lives, our daily hikes and exploring. And he loves, yesterday he was jumping from rock to rock and wanting to go places that I didn't even want to go, because even just now, even when he's injured, he's still like pulling me up into the bushes and stuff, wanting to go follow smells and all that. And I'm like, no. Okay, just got back from town. So this is gonna tide us over. I took the regulator off the stove, took it apart as much as I could. I blew air through it. I put it back on, nothing. I tested the tank. The tank has propane. When I hit the relief on the end of the hose going into the stove, there's gas pressure there. The regulator, either the stove itself is broken or the regulator is muffed up. It's so weird. I used it yesterday, no problem. And a percolator. So even though it's 11:30, you know what I'm about to do. I'm making coffee. It was actually, there's a Ace Hardware and there's a Tractor Supply like right next to each other. So I knew I was going to be able to find what I needed. And no, they don't have, the regulator for that stove is specific to that stove. So there's, as I was talking to y'all, I noticed where this microphone plugs into the camera, it's bent like bad, the pin, and I'm sure that's from falling when it fell when we were driving. It's still working. Alright, I'm gonna get that stove in here, get this coffee pot rinsed out, and see if we can't make a pot of coffee and confirm that the propane tank is working. I know you want coffee too. He's such a good boy waiting for me up in his seat. And he grabbed that when I came back and started running around like a crazy person. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can get a cup of joe. Alright, I've got it hooked up. It's kind of got to sit a little bit crooked like that because of the routing of my hose. Let's turn on the tank. Ah, that just made the right kind of noise. There we go. So it's the stove, not the propane tank or the hose, which is kind of what I figured. I did go ahead and order, I think I already mentioned it, I did order a regulator. It's I'm having it shipped to Leadville. It's supposed to be there Friday. Today's Wednesday, is it? I think. So I think we will leave here on Friday. Yeah, today's Wednesday. So I'll watch that tracking info online here. I bought what they had, like 3 different sizes. This was the smallest. So this went in my backpack. So this is what I'm going to call an inexpensive. And it was not costly at all. But it has everything I need. See this? So we can percolate. I'm just going to rinse this quickly. I wish I had saved my little filters. I packed them. They're in my storage unit. The percolator filters. I'm pretty sure one of you sent me them. And they work great for keeping the grounds out of the coffee. The good news, tomorrow morning, no problem. And I just realized that yesterday I used the last of my Dunkin' extra creamer, but I have some whole milk and I have sugar. I think what we'll end up doing is Friday we'll travel from here up to Leadville. I think that sounds like a plan, because we're going to be needing water and food. Actually, here in Buena Vista, there's a really nice grocery. Really nice. In fact, we'll go from the camp to that grocery store before we go to Leadville. It's a nice grocery. Alright, that's going to be it for this saga. Thank you for grinding along with me. Everyone take care, be safe. We'll see y'all again really soon. He's happy. You can't tell, but he's happy that I got coffee brewing. Let's see how the phone does on the Zoom. Holy smokes, that's not bad at all. That's 20x. That's the max right there. Wow. Look at that. I am really surprised at how good that comes out. Look how far away that is. Wow. Yeah, Lefty's limping, so I'm just keeping him really close here. As soon as we got out on the gravel road, he started gimping, so I'm keeping him in here on the dirt. And he's mad. He wants to go. It's his left front paw, or left front. He stopped and lifted his left front paw in the air when he limped, so I don't know if it's the paw or the leg or the joints. I don't know. Because he can walk perfectly normal, and then suddenly, boom, it hits him. Oh, I'm not sure what's going on. But for his own good, I want to keep him contained. And he doesn't like it. There's an outdoor class of, looks like teenagers possibly, that are here, and they climbed up on Turtle Rock. They were up here the last couple of days on top. And I don't know how they're getting up there, but no, they're not up there this morning. But that's been pretty cool to see people walking up there. Really cool.